Checking in on state regime media known as Fox, they had Elon Musk and Donald Trump on for a second night. It was pre-recorded, of course, but notice that Sean Hannity prioritizes Elon Musk over Donald Trump. Here, watch this.
The ship of America must be strong. The ship of America cannot sink. If it sinks, we all sink with it.
This is what drives you.
Yes.
This is important. It says text.
And then even again, Donald Trump tries to get in a word, but can't even get his sentences. And Hannity keeps talking to Musk. Here, watch this.
We either solve the deficit or all we'll be doing is paying debt.
Nobody's
so it's got to be solved, or there's no medical care, there's no social security, there's no nothing. It's got to be solved. It's not optional. America will go bankrupt if this is not done. That's why I'm here.
The president.
Europe takes advantage of this.
And I'd like to also just send a message.
So then throughout the day, Fox was trying to promote the propaganda that President Zelensky of Ukraine is actually the dictator, not Putin, because that's what Donald Trump told them to say in their state regime media. So take a look at the Laura Ingraham show right here. Look at the Chiron. Trump won't bow to dictators. I want you to watch what Laura Ingraham says here, which is, again, just pure 100% Russian propaganda at this point. Here, play this clip.
Remember, they threw everything they could at Russia. They threw sanctions, $200 billion aid and weapons to Ukraine. Lapel pins were everywhere. Members of Congress are wearing them. They told us in the summer of 2023 that summer offensive was going to run Putin out of Ukraine. Well, of course, that didn't happen. They told us that sanctions would cripple the Russian economy, and they were also wrong about that.
I'll do a whole other video on this, but I had Laura Ingraham's brother, and that's how you pronounce it, Ingraham. Her brother I interviewed about a year ago. I know there's so many new subscribers here. I'll show you that interview, and I'll cut those clips. I'll probably show it on the weekend. Anyway, going back to the state regime media for yesterday, here you have Jesse Waters with the fact that Donald Trump's approval rating is now sinking and Americans are pissed. What do they have to do? They have to grift and con and scam. So here Jesse Waters is like, don't worry, Doge is finding all of these things right here, and they may give you a dividend. You may end up with money, America. They're collecting this money for you. Here, play this clip.
You cut that, and that's big savings. So besides saving my friend Chris, we want bigger dividend Doge check rebates. I don't want to pay down the debt. Put it back into the economy. This is an electoral win. The more Doge cuts, the bigger the dividend checks. We remember how popular the stimmy checks were. And
we don't want that.
We're printing money.
But you just said,
these are rebates.
You see what they're doing here? You see how they're trying to scam their viewers? Ooh, maybe I'm going to get rich off of what Doge is doing. You're not. 4.5 trillion tax cuts in the Republican budget to the billionaires like Elon Musk. $880 billion in your Medicaid is going to get cut. $250 billion if you're a farmer, you're going to get that cut from the agricultural portion of the budget. $350 billion in education cut. You get where they're making their cuts, right? Here you have Ted Cruz on Fox. And here, again, this is part of the propaganda. They're blaming the war in Ukraine on Biden, not the fact that Russia unlawfully invaded Ukraine. Here, play this clip.
For one, it was clear when President Trump campaigned throughout last year that he was campaigning, among other things, on ending the war in Ukraine. The war in Ukraine was caused by Joe Biden's weakness, his weakness as commander-in-chief.
And then while they're doing that, they then bring on some MAGA Republicans who parrot this talking point. The grown-ups are here. The parents are back. Your parents are here. Here, play this clip.
So our country was looking more and more like cartel territories, deadly drugs, gang violence, taking over full apartment complexes. I mean, it was out of control. Well, guess what? The parents came home. The grown-ups are back. It is time to take back control of this nation. President Trump said he would do it. He is fulfilling that promise. And those of us that have been in law enforcement and begging for this decisive, aggressive action, it's like Christmas come early. And you know who's going to pay? The cartels. And we're going to make sure that Americans are put first again.
You know, Senator.
And as you think about this MAGA audience, it's clear that a lot of them have a lot of daddy and mommy issues that are permeating them anyway. It's a whole nother pathology lesson I'll go over. But going back to Laura Ingraham, again, this is state regime media, aka Fox. So they know that America's getting worried about all of the chaos, the fact that there are 9 plane crashes already in like under 30 days. 9 plane crashes. I think 4 of them have been lethal, 1 commercial plane crash. And so Laura Ingraham basically says, and you take a look at the Chiron right here. Fox is running this Chiron asking why there's so many crashes lately, while Laura Ingraham seems to suggest, yeah, it's DEI. DEI, everybody here, play this clip.
And we certainly know that under Biden and Harris, DEI was enshrined at every level of government. That was a top priority for them. Now, recall the rampant speculation when there was a delay in announcing the name of that female Black Hawk pilot who was one of the 3 crew members tragically lost on that helicopter when it collided with the American regional jet. Meanwhile, the 2 male pilots' names were released within just hours of the crash. Now, most of the female pilots' social media had been scrubbed, we learned about in the interim, which, of course, just led to more speculation. Again, whatever the truth is, the public has a right to know. So is this series of aviation nightmares, is it all just really a coincidence? Or have we lowered standards because we lost pilots during COVID, remember the vax mandate? Or did we somehow lose pilots to meet DEI goals? Again, we need answers.
Now going back to some of their scams right here, they then have Howard Lutnick, Trump's Commerce Secretary. And listen to what he says, though, that they're going to cut $4 trillion in entitlements. And they go, Social Security is wrong. Medicaid and Medicare is wrong. I mean, Lutnick's a billionaire, right? And you've got these billionaires lecturing people about taking away their Social Security. I mean, this is horrific stuff. Here, play this clip.
Well, when I set up Doge with Elon, so back in October, Elon Musk and I flew down to Texas, got Elon Musk to do it. And here was our agreement that Elon was going to cut $1 trillion of waste, fraud, and abuse. Think about it. We have almost $4 trillion of entitlements, and no one's ever looked at it before. You know Social Security is wrong. You know Medicaid and Medicare are wrong. So he's going to cut $1 trillion, and then we're going to get rid of all these tax scams that hammer against America, and we're going to raise $1 trillion of revenue. And our objective under Donald Trump is to balance this budget. And I'm telling you, you watch it, we're going to do it.
And again, they're trying to brainwash their viewers to just accept, as I've said, if they could make you feel like crap and that your life is worthless, you'll accept breadcrumbs, right? And that's what they want. They want their sheeple to just have their hands out and say, please give me breadcrumbs, please. And forget about the American dream. Forget about all of the things that Donald Trump said. If they can make you feel worthless, but then feel good about Gulf of America and Trump driving around race car tracks while they give you this bait and switch and they screw you, it's a real big problem when they can convince people to do that. Here's one more clip of this Lutnick guy here. Play this clip.
Well, think about it. Donald Trump announces the External Revenue Service, and his goal is very simple. His goal is to abolish the Internal Revenue Service and let all the outsiders pay. I mean, this is someone who is focused on America. Let's drive down our waste, fraud, and abuse. I'll give you an example. Cruise ships. You ever see a cruise ship with an American flag on the back? They have flags of like Liberia or Panama. None of them pay taxes. None of them pay taxes. Every super tanker, none pays taxes. Alcohol, all foreign alcohol, no taxes. This is going to end under Donald Trump, and those taxes are going to be paid, and Americans' tax rates are going to come down. That's what Donald Trump wants to do. Balance our budget and cut our taxes. I mean, imagine a Democratic senator going against that. What planet are these people on?
Well, you're saying.
And now I want to leave you with this. So Elon Musk, again, remember, this is state regime media, so lots of propaganda here. And then Elon Musk basically says, you know, the people who are the real fraudsters are the people complaining the loudest. Here, play this clip.
Well, then why the
Actually, I
rage?
think it was not helping
Why
American
this
people
rage?
and hurting people overseas, to be
Why
clear.
this rage against you now? First they hated him, now they hate both of you.
Well, I think we're seeing an antibody reaction from those who are receiving the wasteful and fraudulent money.
They're being exposed.
Yes.
Nobody wants to be exposed. When
I'll tell you a lesson I learned at PayPal. You know who complained the loudest, and the quickest and the loudest and with the most amount of righteous indignation? The fraudsters. That's who complained first, loudest, and they would generally have this immense overreaction. That's how we knew they were the fraudsters.
Yeah, so that seems to be, you're talking about you and Donald Trump are the main fraudsters here. But Elon Musk is making a whole mockery out of this. While people are suffering and losing their jobs, and what they're doing is inflicting devastation on hardworking people, they're just making a mockery of it. Elon Musk is like so cruel, and he's quoting this Babylon Bee, which posts this like satirical thing. Elon Musk cuts off Social Security benefits for thousands of Revolutionary War veterans. And what they're mocking is the lie by Elon Musk and Donald Trump and Trump's press secretary that there are tens of millions of deceased people in America who got Social Security. That's been debunked. That's 100% false. They apparently didn't know how to read the code from the way the system actually works, but they're saying that because they're going to come after your Social Security. The same way in their budget, they're coming after your Medicaid. But I want to share with you this because as they call people fraudsters, they're going after the most vulnerable. The billionaires are going after people who are the most vulnerable. Like they're going after the 9/11 health program, which is now taking a heavy hit by Doge. This fund provides healthcare for thousands of first responders and civilians impacted by 9/11. It's programs like that that are being attacked first. Here, play this clip.
The 9/11 health program taking a heavy hit from the Department of Government Efficiency.
The fund provides health care for thousands of first responders and civilians, while new staff reductions could put lives at risk. John Mueller has a closer look.
More than 137,000 people are enrolled in the 9/11 health program. First responders and everyday New Yorkers exposed to the toxic dust, battling health ailments and cancers. The program created to keep them alive is now the latest target of budget cuts under Elon Musk and Doge.
It's repulsive. It's reckless.
Shout out to PIX 11 News for that. And then I'll just show you, this isn't Fox, but I'll show you what the Republicans were doing all day. Like you have Don Jr. reposting this. Zelensky, before he became a CIA plant for regime change in Ukraine. And then Don Jr. goes, Zelensky should really just go win the war without our endless money. Let's see how that works out. And it's a photoshopped AI fake thing where his head has been edited onto this body. And as our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, says, it never ends with these people pushing Russian fakes and Russian propaganda. And it's relentless. And it's sad to see that this is what they do over and over again. We'll keep calling it out, though. I'll give you the playbook of what they're doing. You can try to educate others. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.
Can't get enough Midas? Check out the Midas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MidasPlus.com.
Some of these guys aren't conservative, they're arsonists, right? Like there's a difference between wanting to have a leaner, smaller, more responsive government and wanting chaos and wanting to tear everything down because you want to take power for yourself, right? And both of those people live together in this administration. Like the ones that are doing this because they want to pay for the tax cuts and the ones that are doing this because they want to see everything burn. Hello and welcome to the Bulwark Podcast. I'm your host, Tim Miller. I'm delighted to be here with the former chair of the Republican National Committee. He's host of